Hello, 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 fierce babes. Just setting up the comments and stuff so I can see what all of you guys are saying. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, see me. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties today. Guys, the wind is blasting outside, so if you can hear some weird howling sounds in the background, that's just the wind. Morning, Alicia. Okay, let me get this up and going. Just want to be able to see your comments. Okay. So before we dive in, I'll give a few minutes for everyone else to join. But today we'll be discussing self-love, which I'm super excited about because I think there are so many women in this world who don't value themselves, don't assign themselves any worth, and constantly put everyone else first before them, which in some cases is good, but in most cases, girl, you got to put yourself first, work on yourself first before you can pour from your cup. You need a full cup. So I'm excited for the presentation today because I think everyone needs this. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. Hello, Zion. Hello, Tasneem. Hello, Anita. It's so nice to see you here. Yay, guys. I'm seeing some new faces, some old faces. So I'm quite excited for this. Hey, Zoe. Okay, guys, I'm going to get my presentation going so long. I can never remember how to share my screen. Oh, there, it's in green. Obviously now I just need to open the thing. Hold on 1 second, guys. How do we go back? Advanced file. Sounds like there are gunshots outside now. There we go. Okay, so obviously today we are discussing self-love. So yeah, let's get going. Hi, Roseanne. Okay, cool. So self-love is not selfish. Owning our story and loving ourselves is the bravest thing that we will ever do. Okay, so many people, and I've got a slide covering all of this, but so many people look at self-love in the completely wrong way. It doesn't mean you're vain, self-centered, all of that crap. It means that you love yourself. And girl, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? As my fave RuPaul says, he is on to something there. Morning, Tamara. Okay, so, oh, that's fun. All right, so what we'll be covering today, I'm going to introduce myself again because I see there are some new faces here, but I'll keep it short and sweet. Then we'll go over the self-love definition and misconceptions, the benefits of self-love, and obviously I'm just covering a few, but there are millions. Ways to improve your very own self-love, which I think will be amazing because you guys can all put this into action. And then we'll have a time for questions, but you guys are more than welcome to pop your questions as we go along. I'll keep my eye on the comments here. And then I have a few exciting, I almost hit myself in the face with this thing, a few exciting announcements for the end of the presentation for next week and going forward. Well, there are millions, but I'm only going to announce a few of them. There's so many exciting things happening, guys. I can't wait to share it with you all. Okay, so a little bit about me. I was very overweight when I was a child and into my teen years, which really affected my confidence. And it really, I guess I had no self-love. Pretty much based my value on what other people said and thought of me. So I had little to very, pretty much zero self-love or worth. And as I grew up and older, obviously I decided I need to make a change. I want to get in shape because I was very self-conscious about the way I looked, and it actually made me I think that's one of the reasons I was a very shy kid growing up. Then I decided to make a change. Like I said, so I started going to gym, started doing all the things, but obviously didn't have the right information that I needed. So those almost spurred me into worse things like eating disorders. I was overtraining. I was always yo-yoing. So I was very skinny, very fat, very skinny, very fat. I would never stick to one thing. I was always in one extreme or the other. So, there was just one day where I sat back and I was like, I can't live my life like this. This cannot be how the rest of my life is going to be, like worrying about every morsel of food that I put in my mouth, counting calories, hitting the gym every day, killing myself to look a specific way, which was probably setting my goals on things that wasn't achievable anyway. So I decided to educate myself. So I did a personal training course, I've done a nutrition course, I'm busy doing life coaching now, which I'm super excited about because that's the avenue I'm going to take. But I educated myself and started to love myself more, and now look at me now, I'm so happy. I'm probably in the best shape of my life. I do not follow a diet, I do not follow a strict training regime. I just listen to my body and I do what my body needs and wants, and I'm happy, girls. I'm happy. Hi Linda. Hey Nods. Hey Tanya. Okay, so that is basically my story. So let's hop into the presentation. Okay, so what does self-love actually mean? Self-love means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. Self-love means not settling for less than you deserve. Okay, so self-love basically is just knowing that you deserve whatever you desire, and you can achieve whatever you desire if you have self-love and believe in yourself. So that's what we'll be going through today. Okay, so a shocking truth, we've been pre-programmed. So the world has made self-love out to look like a villain. How many times have you been told you should always put others' needs before your own, or that you shouldn't love yourself because it means you are vain, self-centered, etc.? Okay, so I'll show you on the next slide what you find when you look for self-love synonyms. But I mean, there's so many people in the world today that completely misconstrue what self-love actually means. Like, it's not a bad thing to love yourself. There's a huge difference between being self-centered and just loving yourself, putting yourself first, working on yourself, putting in that effort to be the best version of you. So yeah, this is what I found. You can see in the picture on the left. The synonyms for self-love. So self-centered, self-involved, conceited, egotistical, stuck up, vain. I mean, and vainglorious. I've never even heard that word, but I mean, it's terrible. How can that be synonyms for self-love? Okay. If you're asking me, that is the definition of narcissism or narcissist. Okay. So narcissistic people are arrogant thinkers, self-centered, behave with egotism, have a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Others often describe narcissistic people as cocky, manipulative, selfish, patronizing, and demanding. So you can see just by that definition that self-love is nowhere near what narcissism is. So I think it's time that the dictionary changes up its definition for self-love, because it's absolute bullshit. It's not about being self-centered and vain. It's about growing yourself. And in doing so, you're going to become a better person anyway. You're going to put other people's needs first, but you're going to be more intuitive and empathetic and all of those good things, which will help your relationships down the line as well. So self-growth and self-love is not bad, ladies. Okay, I just want to read the comments here. Hated that self-love and self-care is seen as selfish. Hell no. Yes, girl, Alicia, that is 100%. Okay, and good morning, Claire. Okay, so it's time to start loving yourself. When you practice self-love, you become more confident and accepting of yourself. I mean, who doesn't want that? That's a no-brainer. When you achieve that feeling, you are able to go into relationships with a strong sense of self. The way you treat yourself sets the standards for others. So approaching a relationship with a strong sense of self is the best way to go. Like I said, if you can't love yourself truly, how will anyone else? So, and I mean, I'm not referring to a relationship as in a romantic relationship. I'm referring to all of your relationships in your life with your family, your friends, all of that. So the more you love yourself, the more you will actually start to attract the right people into your life, firstly, because as much as I hate the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. And when you know who you are, you'll be attracting people who resonate with you and not the person you're trying to pretend to be for other people to like you. So many times when you pretend to be someone else just for other people to like you, you land up with friends that aren't really people that should be in your life in the first place. I mean, do you really want to be friends with people who don't accept you for who you are? Basically just putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to continuously work hard to be someone that you're not for friends that don't like you for who you truly are. So it's just a vicious cycle. So the more effort you put into self-love and growing yourself, the happier you'll start to be when you have people in your life who are on the same path as you, who love you for who you are, and just basically support you in absolutely everything that you do. So, I mean, that you can really see as a benefit of self-love. Okay, Nadia says, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Self-love is seen as selfish by the greater part of society, but it's imperative for self-awareness, kindness, and has a direct impact on how we are all able to love others. I love that, Nads. That's amazing, girl. Yeah, that's hit the nail on the head. Okay, so we're going to now discuss the abundant benefits of self-love. Okay, so I'm just covering 4, but obviously there are millions and millions of benefits of self-love. But these were like the top 4 that we'll chat about today. So number 1 is greater happiness. Number 2 is stronger resilience. Number 3 is increased motivation. And then number 4 is better physical and mental health. So I'll delve into each one of these now. Claire says, sorry, I feel like the importance of self-love has become so much more apparent this year, more than ever before. Girl, 100%. And I can tell you now, as bad as Corona has been for the economy and the mindset of a lot of people, I've started to just see people blossoming, because you're forced to spend more time with yourself. You're stuck at home, you're not working, we're not in this like rat race where we have to be at work at 8 and get home at 5 and make dinner, wash the kids. Sorry, I don't have kids, I don't know if that's how you say it. Clean the kids, put them to bed. And then by the time you get to bed, you've literally had no time to actually think about your future, think about yourself, do things that make you happy. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, as bad as Corona has been for the world, it's been amazing. Everyone's doing self work, they're digging deep, everyone's starting businesses, changing careers. I just think it's been an amazing time to see people blossom into what they really want, because now people are actually sitting back and thinking like, what do I want to do with my life? Is this the life I want to be living for the foreseeable future? And I'm guessing most people are deciding no, because we're all in this rat race. For what? We need to be happy at the end of the day. So yeah, sorry, little side rant there, but Scott, I feel you, Claire. And then Stacy says, hi, morning. Will this live be on your page so I can watch later today? I have to go into a meeting in 5 minutes. Yes, I will leave it on today. It'll expire probably at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. tomorrow, so you can catch up later. Stace, good luck for your meeting. Okay, so let's dive into the benefits of self-love. Okay, so number 1 is happiness. Sorry guys, I'm drinking green tea with apple cider in, and that like just got me there. Okay, happiness. Many of us could find countless ways to complete the sentence, I'll be happy when. Too often we view happiness as conditional, something we achieve through external events and goods. Though these conditions may positively impact our lives, no external factor will truly determine our happiness. We need to look inward for that. Okay, so happiness from within is a real thing. So many people validate themselves and think they'll be happy when they have a fancy car, a nice big house, a new outfit, those shoes they've been eyeing out. How many times have you felt that way? Then eventually you go, like, let's say, buy those shoes, wear them for 10 minutes, and then the novelty wears off and you're like, cool, what's next? What do I need now to make me happy? You're always chasing the next thing. So happiness does not come from external things. It comes from within. So that's why self-love is so important, and self-growth, and like just spending time on yourself, for yourself, with yourself. Because happiness, you'll only truly be happy when you're happy with yourself. And when you start to be happy on the inside, everything on the outside is going to work out, because like the law of attraction says, what you focus on grows. And if you focus on self-love and happiness, your whole life will just become self-love and happiness. So yeah, that's the happiness benefit of self-love. Let me just see if there are any questions. Okay, Claire says, agree with your little side rant, 100% rocks. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Okay. So number 2 is resilience. Okay, so self-compassion also influences the way that we handle life's challenges and see ourselves in relation to them. When we treat ourselves more kindly, we respond to stressful events with more flexibility. Self-compassion also triggers a growth mindset in us, which makes us more likely to embrace challenges, learn from feedback / failure, and further develop our talents and potential. Okay, this one I love, love, love. Guys, I have been on a journey. I'm sure you've all noticed. We're all on journeys now. And I really feel like I've gotten to a point in my life where my self-love and all my self-growth things are just on fire at the moment. And I can see it echoing into everything that I do, my relationships, my career, just my general mindset. I wake up in the morning excited, like I'm excited to attack the day. And if I do face any failures or any setbacks or anything, I always look at it as a positive thing. Like, yes, okay, now I know that doesn't work. How can I do it again differently so that it does work? Instead of being like, oh, no, that didn't work out. Now I'm just a failure and I can't carry on. And guys, we spoke about limiting beliefs before. It's how, well, yeah, one of my favorite sayings, sorry, I'm on a side rant here again, is whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. You can either decide that you can do something and get over all those bloody speed bumps and things along the way, or you can just decide that you can't and you won't even make the effort to try. So you'll never know. So yeah, self-love really does help with resilience, because you look at everything through rose-tinted glasses. You look at problems as problems and setbacks as like an exciting challenge. And you learn, like we said, failure is feedback. I try so many things every day and fail so many times a day. There's maybe 1 or 2 things that I succeed at, but without trying all those little things that I fail at, I wouldn't know how to do them better. I wouldn't know if that would have been an idea that would have worked or not. So yeah, resilience, I think, is an amazing benefit of self-love, because instead of looking at things through poo goggles, for lack of a better word, everything comes at you and you like react to everything with a much better attitude, happiness, positive excitement, instead of like anxiety, stress and depression. So that's resilience. Let me just see if there's anything else. Okay, this is Nadia. This is probably the biggest thing I've learned from you over the past few months that we have connected. Happiness is intrinsic. Yes, that is so true, my girl. Girl, same. Your journey has been beautiful to watch and is so incredibly motivating. Oh, thank you, girl. I really it's been amazing actually to see you guys hop on my journey and be motivated. And it really just motivates me more to be a better version of myself, because by me being the best that I can be, I'm motivating you ladies to also be that version of yourself. So thanks for that, Naj. You made my day. Okay, number 3 was motivation. Okay, so our no pain, no gain culture often views self-inflicted stress and struggle as effective motivators. We beat ourselves up in the hustle of work, school, and life, fearful we'll become lazy if we go easy on ourselves. The biggest barrier to self-compassion is the fear that it leads to laziness, complacency, and self-indulgence. We associate self-love with being soft, weak, and less ambitious, and therefore try to drive ourselves with harsh judgment and self-criticism instead. This is such like a double-edged sword, because I think a lot of us use like struggling things as motivators. Even like as South Africans, we are all bred to believe that we need to work hard. The harder that you work, the more money you'll make. And that's why people end up stuck in careers that they hate, working stupid hours just to pay the bills, where you actually should just work smart, guys. But yeah, back into the motivation. I'm going off on a lot of tangents today. You can see this is a topic that I'm very passionate about. So yeah, I was saying like it's a double-edged sword. We all think that we don't want to love ourselves, because then we just can be like, well, why do I need to work on myself because I'm perfect. But then that's basically going back to self-love is vanity, and we're not narcissistic, we're just working on self-love, which is completely different. So I mean, think about it. If you're doing something because it sets a soul inside your soul, sets a fire within your soul, you're going to be way more motivated to do it than just be like, well, I need to pay the bills at the end of the month, that's why I'm doing it. Or like, so-and-so is going to be disappointed if, you're basing it on, again, external factors, when you should be using your deepest why. If you've missed the 4 pillars of wellness, we discussed about finding your deepest why as your motivator. So yeah, self-love is a big one for motivation. Okay, then interestingly, research, I don't know why I always say research shows that self-compassion is a greater personal motivator than self-criticism. People with higher levels of self-compassion typically have greater motivation to work towards their goals. Okay, that's basically what I just said. They're more interested in finding ways to improve, investing energy in that pursuit rather than the defensiveness, anxiety, and social comparison that ultimately lead to decreased motivation. So you can actually just look at this as whether you'd like to fuel your car with like anxiety, stress, and defensiveness and all of that stuff to get to your destination, where you're just going to be like this the whole way, like stressing out, or like filling your car tank with love, unicorns, and rainbows, and you'll get there happy. It'll be a smooth, no bumpy ride. Yeah, self-love is just the better petrol to put in your tank, let's be honest. Okay, no more comments. Okay, then number 4 was physical and mental health. So self-compassion is also connected to better physical and mental health. Studies link it to better immune function, stabilized glucose levels in people with diabetes, and improved relaxation. One study found that self-compassion exercises induced higher parasympathetic activity in its participants, promoting stress reduction and emotion regulation on a physiological level. Okay, so not only does self-love have benefits for your mental health, it also has physical benefits. So, I mean, this obviously, guys, if you want to be the healthiest version of yourself, love yourself. I mean, those are already, especially during this time, immune function, like who would say no to that? So obviously, I don't know like how much you guys know about how stress and stuff really affects you badly, and it can actually cause disease in your body. So the happier you are and the more content you are, the healthier you're going to be all around. And then obviously the mental health comes with that, because instead of dealing with stress and anxiety every day, you're dealing with joy and happiness and positivity. Studies have also associated lower levels of self-compassion with mental health concerns like anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Not surprisingly, most individuals with eating disorders lack self-compassion. And I already said this when I was telling you my little introduction. Self-criticism is often at the core of behaviors across the spectrum of eating disorders, and self-compassion is introduced as its antidote in recovery, okay? So, I mean, I constantly wish I had someone like myself when I was in my early 20s, going through anorexia, going through bulimia, going through all those body dysmorphia issues, overtraining, because if I just sat back and loved myself from the inside out, I would probably not have gone through all of these issues in the first place. So self-love can change your life, and like the sooner you realize this, the better. If I'd started my journey like this when I was 20 instead of 31, imagine where I would be now. But anyways, we don't look back and regret, we just look back and thank ourselves for doing whatever we did to get to this point in our lives today. Okay, Claire says, I received, oh wait, let me go up a little bit more. Okay, Tanya says, your passion is what makes you so relatable. It's like having a personal chat with a friend. It makes for a safe space where we can be honest with ourselves and open our hearts. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I really want you guys to feel comfortable with me. I mean, I am just a person, just like you guys, but I'm just trying to change you guys, change the world. I just really feel like there's so much bad in the world. Why not shine light on all the good and help people just become the best version of themselves? So I'm glad I'm inspiring people. That's amazing to hear. Gabriella says, yes, I started teaching my team to do what makes him happy. Choose a career which he loves so that he isn't stuck in a job to pay bills. That is amazing, Gabriella. I'm reading A New Earth from Eckhart Tolle, and I posted a few days ago on my story. I don't know if you saw, like, the two aspects of how having parents who are controlling in certain ways can really affect you growing up. But then as a parent, knowing that you need to let your child do what's best for them. I mean, it's so old school for, and I hope I'm not offending anyone, but it's so old school for parents to decide that their child is going to be a chartered accountant. So you push them throughout their lives to do well in school, to go to the specific university, to get their CA, like spend 7 years in varsity. And by the end of that, they come out and they actually they're not happy. That's not what they wanted to do. They didn't even get the chance to explore what made them happy, what they were passionate about, because their parents just pushed them throughout their whole life. So I'm so happy to see that there's a shift in consciousness when it comes to this with kids. You are a game changer, and you're going to change the world. So well done, Gabs. And then Claire says, I received a really terrible diagnosis last month, and so many things have gone wrong for me this year. But self-love and following a journey and many others have motivated me so much to focus on the positive. Thank you for being so inspiring. Goals, you're making my fucking day, excuse my language, but that's amazing. Going back to the same book, Claire, I was reading there, like, you get two people when you diagnose with illness. You get the one person who almost takes that opportunity to work on their self-growth and self-love and accept, and they actually land up getting better quicker, because you get the other person who focuses on the illness, makes it a part of their identity, remember those limiting beliefs, and they just land up getting sicker and sicker. So I'm glad you're on this journey, girl, because the more you focus on the positive and just growing yourself internally, I'm sure you will get better. I'm sending lots of love and light your way as well. Okay. Then Anita says, I'm struggling with self-love, honestly, girl. I know you. Maybe let's have a chat later, because there's so many things, but I hope you're working on those businesses I told you about. And just keep showing up. Well, like, I'm going to do so many of these free workshops, and I'll tell you some exciting announcements at the end, but there are so many things. It's a journey, and it's not an easy one, especially if you're starting from the beginning. But if you just start working on your self-love and doing all the things, you'll get there, I promise. Okay. So how do you improve your own self-love or esteem? So self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, or the opinion you have about yourself. So it basically all stems down to you. So let's see what we can all work on to improve and increase our very own self-love and self-worth. All right. So some ways you can improve and increase self-love: start listening to the way you talk to yourself. I'm going to go into all of these, obviously. Set healthy boundaries. And there's some of these that I also need to work on, guys, but I'll tell you all about it when we go through that. Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Use positive affirmations daily, and learn to accept compliments. Okay, so self-talk matters. The first step is to identify and then challenge your negative beliefs about yourself. And when we go back to the 4 pillars, for those of you that took part, the first pillar was mindset. Guys, mindset is everything. And the way that you talk to yourself can really make or break anything in your life. So notice your thoughts about yourself. For example, you might find yourself thinking, I'm not clever enough to do that, or I have no friends. When you do, look for evidence that contradicts those statements. Okay, I think I might have had a little whoopsie there in my brain writing down. Write down both statements. Oh, okay, for positive affirmations. No, sorry guys. Hold on, let me have a sip of tea. Okay, when you do, look for evidence that contradicts those statements. Okay, notice thoughts about yourself. Okay, so when you think about negative things, which everyone does, I'm not good enough, I could never do that, I'll never be like her. Notice them, be present, notice them, and change them, because negative self-talk is not going to get you anywhere. Okay, I want you to write down both statements and evidence and keep looking back at it to remind yourself that your negative beliefs about yourself are not true. Okay, so maybe what you can do going forward, if this is something that resonates with you, is every time you have a negative thought, notice it, write it down, change it into a positive, and write down like characteristics about yourself that completely negate what that negative thought about you was. So if you say, I could never do that, write that down, then change it into, I know I can do that, and then list your strengths of why you could do that. It's just a matter of changing the way that you talk to yourself, and the only way you're going to do that is to be present, is to take note of how you talk to yourself all the time, every day. Once you get into this habit, like everything, it'll be easy, but it's just starting and remembering to be conscious of what you let your brain think about yourself. I mean, isn't it sad that we allow ourselves to be mean to ourselves? Pleasure, Nita. Yes, my mommy's here. Or it could be my sister, because she got kicked out of Facebook, but love you guys. Okay, Nadia says, positive affirmations are everything. Daily affirmations have changed my life. I get my 3-year-old son to say some affirmations out loud to himself every morning in the car on the way to school. I flippin' love that girl. I feel like the next generation of children are just going to be like these totally, and for lack of a better word, woke beings. And I love that parents are like installing these things on their kids. I was even thinking like, I would love to actually, and I never want to have kids, guys, but I would love to just have a kid and like prep them from a young age to be like the most spiritual, self-aware, like amazing human who will eventually take over the world, because the world is changing and we are not going to be controlled by these bloody corporations for much longer, I hope. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. Then, oh, it's my mommy. Hey, mommy. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, it all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you if you allow it. And that stems back to my favorite quote, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Your mind is so powerful. So be positive. Believe in yourself. You literally can do anything you put your mind to. And that's what I've started to realize on my little journey, is that no matter what your dream is, no matter how incredibly huge or impossible it seems, if you work at it hard every day and you do everything you need to, guys, you can literally achieve anything. So let's all take over the world together. Oh, yeah, that's so cute, guys. Okay, Nadia, yes, I agree. As parents, it is so important to teach them to be good little humans. I always say, of all the things I want to teach my son, the biggest thing I want him to be is kind. That is amazing. Especially, like, think about when I was a kid, there was no such thing as cell phones, internet, laptops, social media. Like, the environment kids are growing up in today is so different, and they have such easy access to information. It's so easy for bullying to happen out of school. There's just so many like terrible things that they can be exposed to these days. So we really need to shift the consciousness and just bring up our kids differently. But I'm not a mother, so I mean, I don't know, but I just think it would be better for the world if we all just bring up kids that are kind, compassionate, and not evil and power hungry. Not that there are, but I mean, that's what we've got a world run by evil, power hungry people. No, Mom, you're not going to be a grand. Don't get excited. Okay, so setting healthy boundaries, and this is something that I've actually been like putting effort into lately, because I'm terrible at this, but it's a work in progress. We'll all get there. Maybe we can all work on this together. Okay, so boundaries protect your personal self by setting a clear line between what is you and what is not you. Setting good personal boundaries is critical to creating healthy relationships, increasing self-esteem, and reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. And I can vouch for this. Guys, I am setting boundaries now, but I'm just one of those people who hates confrontation. Like, you will never catch me in a like face-to-face fight with my friends or anyone. I just stay clear of that. I hate it. And that like affects my boundary setting, because I don't let people know when they're upsetting me. I don't let people know when they've let me down, or they've aggravated me, or they've done something that I don't appreciate or approve of. So and it does like lead to stress, anxiety, and depression, because I'm sitting here being like, I can't believe so and so keeps doing this, but I haven't told her that it irritates me. So how is she supposed to know that she's upsetting me? And how is she supposed to know that she shouldn't do that around me? So boundaries is a thing I need to work on, but boundaries is definitely something that will help you increase your self-love and your relationships. Even though personal boundaries can be challenging to navigate, setting and communicating them is essential for our health, well-being, and even our safety. So, I mean, obviously we have boundaries that we have with friends, with people, but then there's also boundaries you set in life with strangers. Like, it's just good for safety, for well-being, for all of that stuff. You'll see there's still 2 more slides on boundaries, obviously something that I really need to work on. Okay, so remember your basic rights. So this just boils down to like your basic boundaries you should have with everyone in life. The right to say no without feeling guilty is a basic right. And this is where I think a lot of people go wrong. And I know it's a lot of work that needs to be done, but like, you don't have to say yes all the time. Even if it's like your family or your friends, if you keep saying yes to everything, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, because that's the yes versus no mindset, but obviously it boils down to what you're saying yes and no to. I mean, I know people who get used all the time because they know that if friends ask them for a lift or this or that, they are always going to say yes, even if it doesn't fit in with their plans for the day, it messes up their schedule. So you need to remember that saying no is okay. If it doesn't work for you, then say no. Cool, Mom. I'm trying to read what you're saying there, but sorry, it's not making sense. Okay. Then the right to be treated with respect. We all deserve respect. And I think that's also something that's lacking in this world today. How many times do people like treat you like shit when you're at the till or you driving? South Africans are the most angriest drivers in the world. Hooting, cutting you off, racing around you. I mean, where are you going that's so flippin' important that you're willing to put your life, my life, and every other life on the road at risk? So yeah, we all deserve to be treated with respect. And that should be a boundary you should have. If people don't respect you, then you should just let them know that does not make me feel good, or that's not all right to say. The right to make your needs as important as others. And this is a huge self-love thing. So like I said, you need to fill your cup before you can pour into others. So, I mean, there will always be circumstances where other people can be put first, but in most times, like, put yourself first. If you can't work on yourself and be the best version, then you're not going to be giving your best to everyone else. The right to be accepting of your mistakes and failures. Like I said, failure is feedback. If you don't fail, you'll never learn. If you never learn, you'll never get better. So don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to try. Do everything, try everything. Learn from your mistakes. It'll just make you stronger, better, more knowledgeable, and you'll just be amazing. Hey, Skylar. Okay, and then the right not to meet others' unreasonable expectations of you. And this is a big one. I mean, people will always have expectations of you. You don't have to live up to them. Who do they think they are to tell you that you need to be a certain way or to do certain things? Like, I'm myself, I'm my own boss. Don't tell me what to do, girl. So yeah, people will always have unreasonable expectations of you. You do not need to fit them. And like I was saying earlier, like pretending to be someone you're not, just avoid it. It's too much hard work for no benefits and no return. Okay, Nadia says, I have a question regarding boundaries. I was once closely connected with a person who turned out to be a narcissist. I have so many of those. I had so many of those in my life. Whenever I tried to speak out and tell this person that something had upset me, they always managed to turn everything back onto me. She always made me question myself and made me feel like I was always doing something wrong. Those are the people that you shouldn't be scared to actually just cut out of your life. I had a narcissistic ex-boyfriend who was, he taught me a lot of things, but it was hard work. They will never, ever, ever see things from your side because all they care about is themselves and how people treat them and. So there's some people that you just can't even try to set boundaries with. The best thing is to just cut them out of your life, which I hope that you did. Because if they're not serving you or making you happy, then what is the point of having them in your life anyway? How do you deal with someone like that because they don't care about my boundaries? Well, if they don't care about your boundaries, then they're not someone that's worth being in your life. Relationships are a two-way street. You need to give and get. So if you're just giving and you're not getting anything back, maybe that's something you should be questioning, a friendship you should be questioning. I'm not telling you that you should break up with this person, but I think you do need to think about it and maybe just reevaluate that friendship, because it doesn't sound like you're getting anything out of it. Okay. And then, guys, always remember to listen to your gut. What does your gut tell you? Check in with your body, heart rate, sweating, tightness in your chest, stomach, throat. These all tell you whether you can or can't handle and where boundaries should be drawn. If someone makes you shake with rage, there's a boundary that they're crossing with you. So, I mean, use all of these emotions and these things that you feel in your body when you are interacting with someone intuitively, so that you can be like, okay, obviously what this person is doing or saying or being is not aligning with my moral code. What is it? How can I communicate to them that in a nice way that it doesn't resonate or work with me, and how can I avoid it going forward? Your body really is like the perfect indicator of what your mind is going through. So listen to your body. It really does give you good insight into what does and does not work for you. The boundaries also relate to your moral philosophy. So write down 10 of your core values and don't do or allow anything that goes against them. So this is another exercise you can do. Go write down 10 of your deepest, most core moral values that people should never cross. Obviously, it's a bit tricky with a few things because people are all different, but I mean, it's a good exercise you can do, and then just be more aware when you are interacting with people, how they make you feel when they do certain things, because it's going to help you to, maybe if you don't know your 10 core values, this can help you establish them. Okay, what if the person is a very close family member? That's a tricky one. Okay, sorry, I'm just going back. Nadia, I'm glad you cut that person out very recently. And Alicia says, walk away, you're better off and deserve way more. I completely feel you. A narcissist always twists things to favor them, 100%. Okay, then Anita said, what if the person is a very close family member? Girl, you still don't have to allow that shit. Maybe have a sit down with them and just be like, you upset me when you do this. I feel disrespected. Just do it in a nice, non-accusing way. If someone was to almost invigilate your conversation you're going to have, have the conversation from that person who's watching you. So you're not throwing emotions at them and almost having a pity party for me. You make me feel like this, you do this, and it really upsets me. Focus it on them. Just be like, when you, let's just say, talk about me in front of my family in a specific way, it really upsets me. It makes me feel just do it from a neutral standpoint so that you're not attacking them and you're not playing the victim mentality, and hopefully they will understand. Otherwise, I know this is very controversial, but you don't have to keep people in your life just because they're blood related. But yeah, maybe if you want to chat later about that as well, maybe chat to me, because obviously every situation is different. But yeah, guys, people who do not serve you do not deserve to be in your life. If they treat you like shit, why keep them? All they're going to do is put you down and make you feel like poo. bring down your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, and in the end, your self-love. So start building a tribe of people in your life who support you fiercely, who make you feel amazing, happy, like worthy, loved. It makes no sense to include people in your life who don't value you, make you feel down, make you feel worthless. So yeah, maybe just sit back and have a real think about, even if they're family members. I mean, you don't have to cut them out, but just don't interact with them if you have family get-togethers, because you know that it's just going to make you feel crap at the end of the day. Okay, Zayan says family feels as though they have the right to talk down upon a person. I mean, that's going to happen, but then just avoid. Just avoid spending time with that person. Or have the chat, see if they're narcissistic, the chat's not going to go well, but just try and do what you can do to avoid that situation altogether. Okay, setting boundaries, continued. Have you ever felt out of place or exhausted because of someone else? This happens when someone crosses your boundaries without knowing what it was. Here's how to draw lines with your confidence. Guys, also remember that a lot of people aren't aware that they're upsetting you and crossing your boundaries. So if you just communicate with them that you don't like it when you talk about like killing animals because you're a vegan at the dinner table, then they'll know not to do that going forward. If you just tell them how it makes you feel, how it makes you feel uncomfortable, how it makes you feel sick, I don't know. It's just, if people actually knew half the things that they did that upset us, they probably wouldn't do it anyway. But we need to communicate that with them, because they can't just be like, I don't think Roxy likes it when I talk about that. So yeah, communication is a huge thing with setting boundaries. Tamara says, hey Rox, thanks for this, was awesome. I gotta go, so we'll catch the rest later. Thanks again. Pleasure goal. Sorry, it is going a bit long. Claire says, agree 100%, family or not, you deserve better. 100% Claire. Okay, so be assertive. Like I said, be present, be assertive. If people cross your boundaries, communicate nicely with them that they're crossing your boundary. If you nip it in the bud from day one, then it's never going to have to be something that either like grows and froths inside of you because you hold resentment towards that person without communicating to them that they're annoying you or upsetting you. So be assertive, let people know what they're doing that upsets you, and it shouldn't be a problem going forward. Learn to say no, we already discussed this. It's probably the easiest way to set boundaries. I'm going to practice this, guys. Okay, safeguard your spaces. Like we were saying, try not to include people in your environment that put you down or don't respect you as a person. Try keep the people who love and support and motivate you in your circle, and then the rest can just like be outside, not in the VIP section. And then get assistance or support. If there's like something really bad in your life that you cannot deal with yourself, go to someone who's qualified to help you with these things. There's no shame in seeing someone for help. It's actually the best thing you could ever do. And then remember to recognize and respect other people's boundaries. So as much as we want to set boundaries with other people, we need to respect other people's boundaries. You can't go around treating other people like shit and like being ugly to certain people and then expect to get perfect behavior back from other people. So we need to be I want to say present. We need to be, I can't think of the most basic words, guys, sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me. Just need to like take other people's boundaries into consideration and respect them, and we should get the same back from them. It's a two-way street. Okay. Claire says, agree 100%, family or not, you deserve better. I think I already read that. I've learned that speaking up when things bother you is crucial. That's perfect. That's the point I'm making, Tanya. Give them the opportunity to respect you. Yeah. So like we said, communication. If most people don't know, let's not harp on about the same thing, but if people don't know and you tell them and then they know, problem's going to be solved. Okay. So think of setting boundaries as fortifying our relationships with others rather than building walls to keep people out. So by setting boundaries and communicating, you're only going to strengthen relationships with people. It's not like you're blocking them out, although some people do need to get put outside that Great Wall of China. But it really just builds your relationships that you have with people already. And then identify your strengths and weaknesses. So self-esteem is built by demonstrating real ability and achievement in areas of our lives that matter to us. If you pride yourself on being a good cook, throw more dinner parties. If you're a good runner, sign up for races and train for them. In short, figure out your core competencies and find opportunities and careers that accentuate them. Okay, so passion is power. If you're passionate about something and it like really makes you happy, even if it's not your career, like the cooking thing and having dinner parties, like my husband loves to cook. And as bad as it sounds, like I hardly ever cook unless he's not here, and I let him do his own thing. I didn't even help him in the kitchen because I know he's living his best life. It's like his form of meditation. He just chops the vegetables and cooks meals and like makes me amazing food, but at the same time he's cutting off from the day, he's de-stressing. That's what he loves, that's what he's passionate about, and that's one of his strengths. So that really like helps him work on his self-love because he's doing what he loves. So yeah, find what you're passionate about. If it's reading, read more books. Really will help you, and this almost like forms part of your self-care routine, which in turn becomes your self-love routine. So set aside time to do things that you are passionate about, and you'll see your self-love grow. And then also with identifying your weaknesses, you can either write them down and work on them, or you can write them down and be like, okay, well, I'm clearly not like good at drawing, so I'm never gonna like base my value on drawing pictures or whatever. Okay, that was a bad example, but you know what I mean. Okay, then the power of positive emotions. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Affirmations will change your life. Really is something that I would recommend you all incorporate daily. And I know it sounds so silly, like looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, you are amazing, I love you, you can do anything, but it really does change your mindset. And if you do it first thing in the morning, like you're just starting your day on a good foot, because you are amazing, you are beautiful, you can do anything you set your mind to. So why not tell yourself that? For those of you who follow me already, you know I have fucking sticky notes, excuse my language, sticky notes stuck all over my house, on my mirror, on my laptop. It's just like, hope you can't see the one on my laptop because that's my little project I'm working on. But they really just like, as soon as you catch a glimpse of one of your positive affirmations, it changes your mindset automatically into a positive one. Okay, so affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. Okay, your subconscious is so powerful. When you tell your subconscious something, it believes it and it starts to make things happen in your life so that that statement can be true. So even with goal setting, like write your goals out as if they've already happened. Say them every day. You'll see opportunities pop up that you would have never noticed before that will help you towards your goal. It's just, the universe is an amazing thing, guys. So just be positive. Okay, then with setting affirmations, start with the words I am. These are the two most powerful words in the English language. Then use the present tense and make sure it's brief and specific. I mean, you don't want to sit in the mirror and be like, I am amazing because no. Just be like, I am brave, I'm confident, I am beautiful, I am whatever you feel like you need to work on. Set those affirmations and do them daily. Okay, Alicia says, affirmations are life-changing. Yes, queen. Okay, then learn to accept compliments. This is also something that I really need to work on. I feel so awkward when people compliment me. I can actually imagine people, like I'd love to actually see what my face looks like, because I'm just like, thank you. It's just so awkward for me, but it's something that you need to work on. Well, that I need to work on. Okay, so one of the trickiest aspects of improving self-esteem is that when we feel bad about ourselves, we tend to be more resistant to compliments, even though that is probably when we need them the most. So true. So set yourself the goal to tolerate compliments when you receive them, even if they make you uncomfortable, and they will, unless you like a narcissist. The best way to avoid the reflex reaction of batting away compliments is to prepare simple set responses and train yourself to use them automatically whenever you get good feedback. Like, thank you, how kind of you to say. Okay, so I'm going to go write down some of those automatic responses. And then in time, the impulse to deny or reject compliments will fade, which will also be a nice indication of your self-esteem getting stronger. Okay, so I don't know if there's anyone else who finds it hard to accept compliments. Give me a fire emoji, because since I was young, I've just always, I just hate attention being on me. And I think that was my fear of speaking as well, as just having everyone's attention on me. So when people are like, oh my gosh, Rox, I'm so proud, or you look amazing, or whatever, I'm just like, thank you. Please stop looking at me. Please stop focusing on me. So this is something I can work on together with you guys if you need to. Okay. Then the bottom line is that improving self-esteem requires a bit of work, as it involves developing and maintaining healthier emotional habits. But by doing so, and especially doing so correctly, it will provide a great emotional and psychological return on your investment. And there's nothing better than a return on investment, guys. Like I always say, the greatest project you will ever work on is yourself. So put effort into yourself, your self-growth, your self-improvement, and everything else around you will get better. I promise. Yeah, see lots of fires, lots of fires. Yeah, it is so awkward, Anita. Also, I hate compliments, but I love them. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just hate that situation where you have to be like, I don't be like, oh, I know. So yeah, it's very awkward for me. Okay, any other questions, guys? Let me know. I know you asked a few questions throughout. Again, if you have any questions that come up later, feel free to pop me a DM or an email or anything. You know where to follow me. It's up beyond the screen. I'm sure most of you are already following me on Instagram and Facebook. Then you can also sign up to my mailing list. I send out weekly mailers, just saying you know what's coming up. I'm trying to do something every week because I love spending time with you guys. You guys are amazing. And on that note, I will let you know what we're doing next week. I'm very excited about it. Also, just a side note, my website is not up yet, but it will be soon. So don't be surprised when you type in firefoxwellness.com and nothing happens. And then next week, Wednesday, Veronique from VM Fitness will be doing a workshop with me on motivation to train and keep fit, as well as a sneaky little workout. Via is an amazing fitness coach. She's helped me to get back into a great training routine. So trust me when I say you do not want to miss this, guys. I'm so excited about this. It'll be here live on my Facebook page. Via is amazing. She's got the best peach in the business. So she'll be taking us through how to stay motivated and keep to a good training routine. And then obviously she'll take us to a little workout. So let me know if there's any body parts or anything you want to focus on. I can let her know for her prep for next week, but I hope I'll see you guys all there. I'll release the deets probably on Monday because I'm going away tomorrow for the long weekend. I'm setting boundaries with work and giving myself a little R&R. Which I'm getting anxiety just thinking about because I need to do work, but boundaries. Okay, let me just read comments here. Michaela says, thank you so much for the session. I loved it. My pleasure. Most powerful affirmation has worked for me is I am enough, girl. We are all enough. We all just need to learn that. Cyan, thank you, Rox. My pleasure. Thank you, Roxy. This was fire. Thanks, Tanya. The session has been incredible, Roxy. Seriously, fire. Yes, queens. Okay, love spending time with you as well. Guys, you guys all rock my socks off. I'm loving this little tribe we're building here. Leash says that was epic. As always, Rox, thank you, beautiful. Thank you, beautiful, for showing up again. And bums and tums, girls, that's V's specialty. So I'm sure she'll be incorporating that in the workout. And then I will be launching this soon, but I wanted to let you guys in a little bit before I actually tell the public. I'm going to be launching a 21-day self-love challenge starting on the 1st of September. It's going to be amazing. So join me on the 21-day self-love challenge as I teach you the steps you can take every single day to completely change the way you treat yourself, mind, body, and soul. I'm so super excited for you to join this journey so that you can confidently go through the steps you need to find your inner fierce self-love. Okay, so I will release more details. This is one of the things I'm fiercely working at. It's going to be amazing. There'll be daily challenges, journal prompts, insights, activities. It's going to be an amazing challenge. We'll even have a private Facebook group where we can all work together on the day challenges and stuff like that. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm super excited for this. And I hope you all guys will all join me. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the little sneaky peeks of Health and Harmony. Me and my friend B are working on a top secret project, which we are both so flippin' excited about, but there's not much I can really say about it because that'll give it away. We're also launching on the 1st of September. So if you haven't yet, go and give us a follow on Health and Harmony Goals on Instagram and Facebook. You can join our mailing list. It's in the links in both of our bios. Well, not our bios, the Health and Harmony bio. If you sign up to our mailing list, you'll obviously be the first to know what's going on. So yay, it's super exciting. But there's so many exciting things, guys. I can't wait to share all of them with you. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, I'm excited. And thank you guys for joining me today. It was awesome as always. Love virtually chilling with all of you. I mean, this is also a fucking fabulous thing from Corona, is like connecting via our bloody laptops, which we've all had, or our cell phones, which we've all have had access to already. But I'm glad it's pushed us to all connect virtually, because it's a good way that we can connect with everyone without having to leave our house and meet people we would have never met in the first place anyways. So thank you guys for supporting me again, being here again. It means the world to me. I cannot wait to see you guys all on Wednesday. I'm sure you will be there. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and have a beautiful weekend. I'm going to have a bit of a social media detox from tomorrow, because we're leaving tomorrow afternoon, but I will be back on Sunday ready to take on the week and bring some more beautiful content for you guys. So have a beautiful, beautiful hump day, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, peace, guys. Figure out how to end this meeting. How orkies. Where this thing at? Guys, what is happening? So sorry about this. It's gone into like a tiny little screen. Oh well. There we go. Okay, cheers guys. Sorry about that.